Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. If you're new here, I'm a matchmaker and a dating coach. And for the last year, I've tabulated the answer to one of the questions I ask everybody, which is what are your top 3 priorities? Kept track of this. Not going to give you the top 3. I'm going to give you the top 10 priorities that men have told me they want in a partner over the last year. And not only is this any men, these are men over 50. So I got really specific because some of you have asked me this question. What do men want? What do these guys want? And these are from my gals over 50s. So for you, this compilation, and I think really it should be interesting to most people. And to be honest, guys over 50 aren't that different from guys that are 30, 40, and 60, to be honest with you. These are a lot of things I see over and over again, all ages. So don't miss out just because you're of a certain age. Lucky you, still 40 years old. Stick around, that's what's on the agenda. One thing that maybe just shows up more often than not than it did, and it's for across the board ages, but definitely shows up with my over 50 guys, is that they want somebody faithful and trustworthy. So faithfulness, trustworthiness are 2 of the things people are asking me for. Sometimes they're dealing with infidelity in a past relationship, maybe not even the last one, but it's some stage of their romantic life. Oftentimes it's friends that they've heard about or women that they've met who have shared this. So they're aware that some people out there are cheating and they want to avoid this at all costs. So that very often ends up on their top 3 list. And it's definitely on my top 10. Number 2, positivity. Again, often on other people's lists, but very often because of perhaps coming from something that was more negative. Men in their 50s are always looking for somebody who's really positive. They want somebody who's upbeat, sees the glass half full, and somebody who's not a downer. Debbie Downers are a no-go for many of my 50s guys because they mention it right there in their top 3 list. Positive attitude, goes with the flow, somebody who just emanates positive vibes is for them, they think, and that's why it's on my list as number 2. I'm going to put these 2 together because they sometimes go together and people use them interchangeably at times, but supportive and reliable. That's what these fellas are looking for. They want someone there who is willing to be in it with them, who is dependable as a team member, who will experience good and bad with them and can be supportive when things are challenging. Perhaps they didn't have that. As a little aside, I think it's interesting that often people will give me their top 3 priorities, the things they want in a partner, and their top 3 deal breakers at the same time, because that's how I ask for it. And from those 6 answers, I can tell why they are single and why their last relationship, be it a marriage or long-term relationship, but especially for people who have been married before, I can tell what was lacking in their marriage by the things they're now prioritizing on this list. Perhaps they didn't have somebody who was in it with them, because if you've been married for a long time, you've got your own stuff going on, your own responsibilities and challenges, and it's hard to stay connected and be very involved in another person's. But people like that. As far as being reliable, some people these days you run into dating is that sometimes people are flaky. Nobody likes that. Number 4 is to be appreciated. And when I dig a little bit deeper and ask some questions about this, they like to have their masculinity validated. I think that they grew up in an era where they had role models of masculine men and think they know what a man is, how they want to be, what that means to them, and how that manifests in a relationship, and they want a woman to appreciate it. It's a lot of the reasons that younger women date older men. They like that. I know what a man is. It's what I saw. It's kind of old-fashioned, but it is who I am. And they're very, very comfortable with that. Where I think sometimes younger men are struggling to what is the role of a man right now and how does that look for me? Older guys who had that role model and kind of had known what they think masculinity looks like for all these years to get to be 50, they're pretty confident in how that works for them, and they want somebody else who appreciates it. Number 5 is sex with a connection. Older men, here I am again, interrupting my own episode with a commercial. I just wanted to let you know, in case you weren't aware, that I created a free guide, and I wasn't sure if you'd taken the opportunity to grab that. If you weren't sure what it is, I just wanted to let you know it was made to help people meet people, partners, potential partners, out in the real world, meant for people specifically who don't want to do the online dating thing at all, need a break from online dating, or just want to get back to meeting people in a really authentic way. From mental preparation to how to psych yourself up, what to wear, where to go, what to say, how to flirt, all the way through the date to putting it all into perspective once the date is over, and if need be, encouraging to try again, because the more people you meet, the more likely you are to connect with somebody fantastic. So if you don't have that already, the link is down in my description box. You click on the link, it'll ask you for your email so I can send it directly to you, and you'll have it there for future reference as well. Hope you'll do that. I hope you'll find it really helpful. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Some of them, of course, just would love to have just random sex, and some of them, you can see that as soon as they're divorced, they go through a period where they like to, like a kid in a candy store, trying different things. But most of the men who, after that point in time, come to me as a coach or a matchmaker will say that they are looking to have a partner who really enjoys sex, somebody who is still interested in an intimate relationship, and they want it to be in a love relationship because they know that works best for them when they have feelings for somebody in the context of a loving, caring partnership and relationship. Number 6 is competency, which is kind of interesting, but they want a partner who is competent and contributes, not necessarily financially, although that's all right with most of them, but in their life together. Somebody who also will contribute to make plans, to decide what's going on, to have input and be able to share what they want and what they're thinking and their opinions in this relationship, especially when decisions need to be made. They don't want to have to hold the whole boat up. They want somebody else who's going to be there working alongside them, and they appreciate that in a partner. And I think a lot of women over 50, if they weren't like that before, have found themselves embracing that side of themselves and are more competent than ever. So that works out really well. Number 7, it's usually closer to the top of the list than 7, but it's communication. Men don't want to guess what you're thinking, what you want. They would like you to just tell them. And they need somebody who is comfortable having hard conversations sometimes with them, and they appreciate that. They want somebody who can have conversations about the difficult things, the challenges you're having. If you need them to do something specific or have a job for them, don't just hint when you're angry that they didn't do it the first time, and come right out and ask them to do it again and give them a time they need to get it done by and tell them why. Being a communicator in all relationships makes things go much more smoothly. The good thing is that we become more communicative, I think, as we grow and become older humans, and we realize it's really quite helpful in getting along with other people. Number 8, also closer to the top of the list, they want somebody fun. So along with being positive, they would like somebody who also wants to have fun in this next stage of their life. They don't want any duds who don't want to go do stuff and have fun and enjoy and are willing to laugh and laugh easily. They want somebody who embraces fun. And that's a challenge sometimes because not everybody's like that, but almost all my guys will share with me that they're excited to find a partner and have fun. So if you're dating somebody, you might want to ask them what fun looks like to them and get a head start on whether you could be that person who enjoys the same kind of fun. Creates a whole conversation there now and a whole new something to talk about on first or second dates, doesn't it? Number 9 is common values. And you know why? Mostly it creates a lot less friction when you're on the same page with somebody about things that are important to you or things that you grew up with. And you know you're not going to run into any headbutting, so it creates more stability in a relationship when those things are aligned. And I think it's important to know those things early on, which is why I think people should talk about their values early in a relationship, sometimes even before meeting, if it's one that's really important to you, especially in line with politics and religion. I just had somebody message today in the comment section and say that she had a great date, but he was very, very religious. And not only that, because she's fine with somebody who has a belief in something, but he wanted to put that on her. He was only interested in being with somebody who was like him or would consider being what he is and having that same relationship he did with his religion. And she didn't see herself as that. So if you know you're not going to see yourself there, you're probably not going to match with him before you even meet him if you've had that conversation. So live and learn, right? And then number 10, women who know themselves, are comfortable with themselves, like themselves. They say this in different ways, but they don't want insecure women. They want women who are comfortable in their being, can stand up for themselves, have their own thoughts, ideas, opinions, and express those with confidence. I think confidence does come into play here. But they don't want nobody, no wishy-washy woman. They want a woman who's going to be an equal partner to them and is going to share in the decisions and all of that as they embark on a new relationship together. I'm curious how many of the 10 you have. I don't think anybody has all of them, but for some men, some of these are important. These are things that you can talk about on dates if you're so inclined. If you have a couple extra minutes to watch another video, I wanted to recommend this one for you. I thought it was only fair, and it's about 7 things that women want in men. But before you go, Mom wants a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you've got an extra 30 seconds to hit that button, and I'll look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Until next time, have a good one.